And this, first of all, I'll start by saying Mike Gundy is one of the longest tenured coaches in college football, but it's time to move on. Oklahoma State, I'm sorry, it's time to move on. I know the history that he's brought to that program, great wins, great players, but you got to move on. At no point in time should another Power Four team play another Power Four team and lose like that. I don't care who it is. If you're in the Power Four, that means we have a chance to go to a national championship every year. We're some of the best football teams. We're part of a group of the best 40 to 50 football teams in the entire nation. You should not lose to another team by 70 points almost.
Definitely a black eye for the Big 12.
Yeah. Oh,
Definitely.
man. It's bad. And Oklahoma State, you coming off a year where you were predicted to win last year. You were predicted to win the Big 12, and you don't win a game in the Big 12. You backdoor this season. You start off, you get your first win in the season, but when you play another good opponent, okay, we knew you were going to lose to Oregon. You lost by 70, man. Mike Gundy, it looks like your mouth wrote a check that your behind couldn't cash. That's a good way of
I'm going to go ahead and say it for your ass couldn't cash.
Couldn't cash it. You could not cash it, and that's exactly what we saw. Man, Dan Lanning, he said, hey, you talk about we got all this much more money than your program. What am I supposed to do about that? I'm just the coach. You think I'm gonna give you some of the money we got here to go recruit?
When Boone T. Pickens was paying all that money and building stadiums and spending all that money illegally out there in Stillwater before he died, nobody was saying anything.
Nope.
So
don't bring up the money now, but I mean an absolute beatdown from them. So Oregon, they took care of business, but Oklahoma State. This is going to be a long season for Oklahoma State, a long season.
That's one of them where you want online class. If you're a player, you want online classes, and you don't want to walk to campus because everybody on campus is seeing you, and they wondering what's happening. You don't even want to tell them what school you go to.
No,
you don't even want to say, I attend Oklahoma State.
You got to tell them you play basketball or something after that. No, I ain't on the football team. I play basketball.
The college is the college because we all together. So when you play basketball, football, run track, or whatever, it's still Oklahoma State. Mm-hmm. So it's one of them times where you want to say, well, I go to Oklahoma Central. I don't go to Oklahoma State. Man. Well, I don't want to tell you what school I go to. I've been there before. We played in Miami. We got beat 63-13, man. You had to wear a hoodie all week around campus.
It's some rough times coming up for Oklahoma State. If you're starting off like that against the Oregon opponent, it's going to be tough for them moving forward. Let's go over to some NFL while we have some time left here today on the show. It was a great opening week of NFL football, I believe. We started it off with Philly Cowboys on Thursday, and we talked a little bit about that game on Friday night. I want to jump right into what was the game of the week, man, and that was a Sunday night game. We knew it was going to be the game of the week. We previewed said it was going to be the game of the week, but I didn't think it was going to go like this. This was a barn burner that literally came down to the very last seconds of the game with these two. And that is the Buffalo Bills getting the win over the Baltimore Ravens, 41-40. Now, the first thing I have to say is, after these games, everybody wants to assign blame. Is it the narrative is already Lamar Jackson can't win the big games. The Ravens can't close this one out. We have to start by saying we cannot put this game on Lamar Jackson. There's no way. No. It's similar to the same thing I said about Joe Burrow. You can't go out there and score 40 points and lose off a last-second field goal and then go and tell your quarterback, I guess you just got to play better. Your defense is not supposed to give up. If you score 40, it's supposed to be a win. No matter who you're playing, we scored 40 points. We won this week. They scored 40. It was not enough. They were up by 14 points with just 8 minutes left to go in the game. Buffalo comes back all the way in this game. The main narrative off this game, like I said, shouldn't be Lamar Jackson not being able to get it done. It should be Josh Allen is starting to go into another tier here that we haven't seen him play. He's entering that tier of, man, we don't want to get this guy the ball. I don't care what we do. We can't get this guy the ball back. We've seen that with Mahomes. We've seen it with Brady for years, Peyton Manning, Drew Brees, where no matter what, I don't care if it's 40 seconds, if it's 2 minutes left, we can't get this guy the ball back. That is the stratosphere that Josh Allen is entering into. Seeing what he's working with on the offensive end, and I commend his receivers for stepping up. Keon Coleman looks like he's going to take another step this year. Josh Palmer, who they got from your Chargers, it seems like he's going to be a huge, great fit for them this year. But the main thing I took away from this game is Josh Allen. Josh Allen is coming off MVP season. You can start to feel yourself a little bit. He's got a contract extension. He just got married to a movie star this past summer. You could come in this feeling yourself a little bit. He doesn't do that. He puts his hard hat on, goes out and throws for 394 yards, 2 touchdowns, 0 turnovers in this game. Josh Allen and the Bills get it done. Wayne, what do you think about this barn burner game on Sunday Night Football?
I'm gonna tell you what I'm disappointed in. Mm-hmm. Baltimore's defense.
Yes. Oh my goodness.
Jim Harbaugh.
Yeah. Honestly,
John.
I said the same thing. It's John. John Harbaugh.
It's John Harbaugh.
Yep.
So when you have Cal Hamilton back there in the back, you have Roquan Smith, mm-hmm. and you cannot put your kids in those. Well, your players. I'm not going to say kids, but you can't put your players in that situation. When you were being aggressive in the beginning of the game, you had to be aggressive at the end of the game. You had to come out and play. You had to come play to win. You had to play to win, and they didn't play to win. Mm-mm. If you shut this team, they shut them down the first half, but you wasn't able to shut them down in the second half, and that was a whole problem for me. You have the best roster in the whole NFL. You're my Super Bowl pick to win it all.
Yep.
But you got to know how to finish games. You have to know how to win. So I'm gonna say that the Ravens gave it away rather than the Bills going out and taking it.
Yeah.
You know, they did some uncharacteristic things in the end to be able to lose this game, and you got to give Josh Allen credit too, because he took advantage of those things, and Buffalo came out on top.
Yeah, they came out with a victory in this one, like you said. I was even talking to my dad about it last night after we talked about the game. I said the same thing. I'm putting the blame on John Harbaugh to the point of this is starting to become a reoccurring theme with John Harbaugh. I know what he's been able to do. They have all these winning seasons. He's got a Super Bowl. That was almost 15 years ago. Some changes have to start being made for John Harbaugh on this team because he's been the one person to seem to escape the blame. They blamed it on Greg Roman a couple of years ago. They fired him, the offensive coordinator. They blamed it on the defensive coordinator a couple of years ago. They fired him and brought in Zach Orr as the defensive coordinator. John Harbaugh is the constant in this. And last night in that fourth quarter, there were multiple decisions made where I'm like, this is not a great play call. This is not a good decision. I understand Todd Monken is the OC, but the head coach here, those play calls coming in too, and he can say, "Hey, we're not doing that."
Well, you got to keep doing the same thing. You got to keep your foot on the gas.
Yes,
they were being conservative and trying to run out the clock. Man, you can't. Teams in the NFL, you cannot give them a chance. You can't give a Josh Allen a chance to get the ball back. You got to keep your foot on the gas. So the things that you have been doing, you know, you got this run play option with pass run option with Lamar and Derrick Henry and Zay Flowers, and you got one of the best tight ends in the game. Let's do that. Yeah. Let's do that. They couldn't stop him.
No,
they couldn't stop him. They had over 400 yards of offense last night, and they lost the game. They scored 40 points and they lost the game.
Yep.
You had a rusher that rushed over 150 yards last night, and you lost the game.
Yep.
You had a quarterback that threw, I think, 3-4 touchdowns, and you lost the game.
Yep.
That makes no sense. And for an NFL team to do that and let a team come back and beat you in the last second, it doesn't make sense. And Jair Alexander, I don't know what amount that he got paid to come and play for Baltimore. But man, I can still run routes and beat him. I'm just saying.
Yeah, that's what it looked like last night.
This guy, man, they just targeted him every time he in the game.
Yep.
They threw at him. So man, you got to get yourself in shape, and I think it was a big push for Lamar because he was a teammate of Lamar in college
at Louisville.
Yeah, and I know it was some other teams that wanted to sign him, and he chose to go to
took less to go to Baltimore.
Yeah.
Sign a 1 year, $6 million deal. He was by the time they got in that second half, it was just him and whatever receiver. They was fine 23 and wherever he's at.
That's what good offense coordinators do, man. They'll find the weakness.
Yeah.
They'll find the weakness and they'll isolate you, and they'll get receivers to run routes against you, and then because they know you the weakest link.
These are the games you can't lose if you're the Ravens. You cannot lose. You cannot rush for 169 yards with Derrick Henry 2 touchdowns and lose. I mean, he had 120 at halftime. I know because I have him on my fantasy team. I won the game before it even got to halftime. He had 120 yards at halftime. When you got that type of a lead, they held Buffalo to 7 points in the first quarter, 6 points in the second, 6 points in the third, and then 22 points in the fourth quarter. 14 of those 22 points coming in the last 5 minutes of the game. Yeah. That's unacceptable if you're the Baltimore Ravens. John Harbaugh and the staff, you got to get it together. We don't need to have no extra meetings with Lamar. We don't need to have no extra meetings with Derrick Henry. No. This has got to be a coaching thing and figure out.
As a staff.
Yeah, as a staff. You got to figure it out.
And the head coach, even offense coordinator. Like you say, we got to come together because now we're playing conservative and we're playing not to lose a game instead of playing to win the game. Yeah. And that was a problem, man. You let your foot off the gas, and you got to keep your foot on the gas, man. You got to step on their necks, man, when you in control, and they fail to do that because Derrick Henry would have got the ball. I'm faking with him. I'm giving it to him and Lamar the rest of the game.
Especially on that 4th and 3. I'm not punting the ball back. It's a minute and a half left in the game. Yes, you're on the 40-yard line, but you haven't. At that point they had scored 16 straight points in like 3 minutes, 3 or 4 minutes. I'm not giving this guy the ball back. We're just going to lose with – we got 3 yards to get. I got Lamar Jackson and Derrick Henry. Yeah. If I got Lamar and Derrick Henry and we got 3 yards to get, I just got to go and try to get their 3 yards. If we lose off of that, we lose off of that. But I'm not just going to punt the ball back to this guy knowing he is carving my defense up like that. So the Ravens lose in what was a tough game, but I think all in all, we were probably looking at the best 2 teams in the AFC. Josh Allen, just because of his play, elevates the Bills to a certain level, and I'm still agreeing with you, and I still think the Ravens had the best roster in football from top to bottom. They just got to find a way to go out and close the game. It's not like they went out there and scored 3 or 4 points like we've seen some other teams do that I'm going to talk about, but they came out there, scored, did what they needed to do, just wasn't able to close it. So Bills 1-0, Ravens drop a game even though they lose 40 or put up 40 points in that one. The second one is the game that I had planned to be the best game of the day until we saw what happened Saturday night, and that was the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Jets. These 2 guys swapped quarterbacks in the offseason. Aaron Rodgers leaves the Jets unhappily, goes over to the Steelers. Justin Fields leaves the Steelers unhappily, goes over to the Jets. This is one of the games where I think both guys had a great week 1. The Jets and the Steelers. Both teams can go back home feeling good about themselves, even though the Jets lost in this game. Aaron Rodgers, for all the people that thought Aaron Rodgers was terrible and washed, this is what it's going to look like in an actual game-planned offense that he has out there with Arthur Smith. Last year with the Jets was too chaotic. They gave him too much control. They were trying to mix in, well, what is Aaron Rodgers like? What are we going to do with this? They fired after coaching staff halfway through. Too chaotic. You give Aaron Rodgers a controlled environment like we know the Steelers are going to have with Arthur Smith. He shines. 22 for 30. 244 yards and 4 touchdowns, made some throws that really look like vintage Aaron Rodgers, had his best game since he's put on a Green Bay Packer uniform. Clearly his best game since he's left Green Bay with the Pittsburgh Steelers opening up with the win. And on the other side, very encouraged about what I've seen from Justin Fields. This is the talent that we saw he could do in Chicago. We've seen flashes of this in Chicago, just once again, too much of a chaotic environment in Chicago. Same thing with Pittsburgh. This is what we saw through the first 6 weeks before he got benched for Russell Wilson, which ended up not working out. We saw him do that. Now Justin Fields looks like he's taking that next step. He looked comfortable. He ran when he needed to run the ball. Threw for 218 yards and a touchdown. Rushed for 48 yards and 2 touchdowns as well in this game. I think Garrett Wilson is solidifying himself as a true number 1 receiver in New York. But I like both of these teams, Wayne, from this. I don't give either one of these teams a bad grade. I think the real difference in this game was what's going to end up being one of the biggest offseason acquisitions in Jalen Ramsey. I think he was the difference in this game. He literally closed the game for the Pittsburgh Steelers. We saw him get that hit on the last play of the game to hit the ball out of Garrett Wilson's hands. The play right before that, he gets a pass breakup on a long 3rd and 10. We saw him make big plays.
Yeah, a penalty that he wasn't supposed to get because he was trying to make a tackle. Yeah, and he came and made up for that, man.
He was the difference in this game. What do you think about this win for the Steelers, 34-32 over the Jets?
I agree with you. You know, Aaron Rodgers, he went to a team that was out of control last year to a team with some structure.
Yes.
And I think he plays better under structure. Mm-hmm. You know, Mike Tomlin, Arthur Smith, both established guys in the NFL. So you're going to play with structure. and he played well. Because with the Jets, they gave him, like you say, too much control.
Yeah,
and he went out and he performed, threw the ball well, and he's coming back off an injury.
Yeah,
It's year 2 of that Achilles type of thing, an Achilles injury. So now you kind of your movement and your flexibility is back a little bit, so you can throw the ball and you can just go out and spin it. And I think that was the biggest thing. But playing under structure, I think, was the most valuable thing for Aaron Rodgers. And then on Justin Fields' end, the same thing. You bring the offensive guy from Detroit, which, they had a game plan.
Yeah.
And it's a quarterback-friendly type of offense, and he's like the right guy for it because he can move in the pocket, and he has great running backs, has a good line, and he has good receivers. So it's something that he didn't have when he was in Pittsburgh. I think they kind of took the playbook out of his hands and just kind of wanted him to hand it off and then want him to pass it a lot. And that's not what they're doing with Aaron Rodgers. So It's made a difference. And then you go to a team that, with the Jets, that come in, they believe in you, they want you, saying you are our guy from day one, and making him feel worthy. And you go into an offense that's a formidable offense that came from Detroit, and he goes out and plays well.
Yeah, I think this is a match made in heaven, really, for the Jets. Like you said, getting that offensive style from the Detroit Lions and putting in an athletic guy like a Justin Fields. If he can make the right throws, I think the Jets are going to be in decent shape this year. Their defense will play better as they get further through the season. They still got guys. They still got Quentin Williams, Sauce Gardner, and these guys. But if their offense can keep up their offense can put up 34 points each and every week, they'll find themselves in the winning column more times than not. Same with the Steelers. If their offense can put out that same matchup, love the way I've seen them use DK Metcalf. I think the first time I've seen DK get used the right way since he's been in the NFL. Let's get this guy the ball in space, and he's bigger and faster than most guys. So after that, he'll do the rest. Let's just get him the ball in space. That's exactly what the Steelers were able to do. So shout out to Arthur Smith and those guys. Like I said, neither one of those teams I was disappointed in, even though the Jets lost. I want to go to a team that I was disappointed in. Is the Indianapolis Colts. Got a victory over the Miami Dolphins, 33-8. I only bring this up because this is just honestly a disgrace. The Indianapolis Colts aren't that great of a football team, guys. I'm not gonna overdo it like the Colts are gonna come out and win 13 games this year, because I don't think they are. I do think they're gonna be a very solid football team and a great outing to start with Daniel Jones. Another thing I told y'all before the season started, Anthony Richardson was not gonna play. This is gonna be Daniel Jones. Shane Steichen, Daniel Jones fits the offense perfectly. That's a match that they want to be able to get. And I think Sam Ehlinger's going to, not Sam Ehlinger, but the kid that came from Notre Dame is going to end up being their back. Riley Leonard is going to end up being their backup as well. I think Anthony Richardson's probably done there.
Yeah.
But this is mainly about the Miami Dolphins. Last year, we tried. Some people tried to give you some grace. I didn't. Tua got hurt, and that's why the season went bad. I didn't give him much grace because you got a bunch of Ferraris out there on offense. You got Devin Achane, you got Tyreek Hill, you got Jalen Waddle. Regardless of who's playing quarterback, you should put up points. They were losing games 6-13 last year without Tua being in there. Now Tua comes back and they're telling us all this stuff in the offseason. We're going to gloss over the fact that our receiver and our quarterback aren't getting along. We're going to give Mike McDaniel another chance, even though I said after last year he should have been fired. Well, now all those conversations need to be revisited. You go out and put up 8 points on an Indianapolis Colts team that's going to be a middle-of-the-pack defense at best. This is going to be a top 15 to 20 defense probably, what we'll see in the league. Mm-hmm. You put up 8 points, Tua goes 14 for 23, only 100 yards in the game, and you have Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle on your team, and you only throw for 100 yards, throws for 2 picks in this game.
And a fumble.
And a fumble from Tua. There was no rhythm to this offense. Both sides of the ball looked discombobulated. The defense looked like they had no idea what they're doing, as they had a fire sale this past year on the guys they had on the defense. The offense looked like it has no idea what it's doing, and I'm wondering, well, what is Mike McDaniel coaching? Wasn't he supposed to be the offensive guru guy that came from Kyle Shanahan and the 49ers? Wasn't he supposed to be a quarterback whisperer because of what he was able to do with Brock Purdy and those guys? I haven't seen any of that. I was out on the Dolphins before the season started. I'm as far out as you could possibly be on the Dolphins after seeing that against the Colts yesterday. Wayne, what do you think about them getting blown out
I definitely
yesterday?
agree with you, man. When you, we was talking about structure, and the team has no structure, and they didn't get it right in the beginning of the season when Tyreek and Tua was kind of going at it, and both of them got big contracts. Mm-hmm. Both of them going to be a part of the team, so you have to build that. You have to get that relationship right before the season starts. They all said it was a big problem, but none of these guys never talked. And when you're a quarterback and receiver, you have to be on the same page. Mm-hmm. It's like you're best friends, man, because I need you to throw me the ball, and you need me to catch the ball. Mm-hmm. And so I think that's a disappointment. I don't think McDaniels make it through the end of the year.
I don't either.
I don't even see them winning 3 games this year. And I'm being honest with you. Yeah. I'm being honest. I don't see them winning 3 games. When you lose to a team that at best that you're even with, you don't even make it a big. You don't even make it a good ball game. You just kind of make it a team that went out and dominated you with Daniel Jones that's probably lost half the games he's quarterback for the last 3 years. So I only see nothing but down for Miami, and I don't think McDaniels make it through the year.
He can't. There's no way possible.
Especially when you're an offense coordinator and you're supposed to be, you're the head coach, but you're the offense coordinator, and that's why they hired you, because of offense. That's why they brought in Tyreek. That's why they drafted
Jalen Waddle.
And so you got all of this. You supposed to, and they got A-Chain. Man, you have all this speed, and it was supposed to be NASCAR or whatever you supposed to have. Your package was supposed to be NASCAR because all your guys can run and move and this, that, and other. Well, it's not.
It's not at all.
It's not. It's not.
That's my biggest gripe with those guys is, like you said, he's the offensive coordinator.
And he's the head coach.
Yeah, so we got to put the blame on you.
Yeah, the blame goes all on him.
And it was the same last year. We gave you the cop-out of Tua got hurt, but if you're the offensive coordinator, I seen Tom Brady tear his ACL in week 1, and they go win 11 games with Matt Castle as a quarterback in New England at that time.
And they got in-house bickering, man, going on between the players, man. And then the players are talking behind the coach's back. The players are talking about each other. Mm-hmm. It's just, that organization is in disarray. I think it's time for a change.
Absolutely.
And, man, you let these guys play out the season, or let this guy, because you paying him. So what you have to do is, and he's going to get paid regardless, so make him coach for half the season and then get rid of him.
Yeah, that's all you can do at this point. You do like that against the Colts. They didn't score a point until, it says 38 to 33-8. They didn't score a point until like the last 6 minutes of the game. It was a donut out there for the majority of the game.
And I'm glad because they had A-Chain and he was on my fantasy
team. Yeah.
So,
and he should have got the ball more. He had 7 carries for 59 yards.
Yeah.
That's 8 yards a carry.
But when you're behind, what can you do?
Exactly.
You have to pass the ball.
Exactly. You got to throw the ball. And they was behind from the jump. These guys was trying to play catch-up. 3 things that I think going to happen with the Dolphins before the year is over. 1, Mike McDaniel won't be the coach. 2, Tyreek Hill is going to be on another team before this year is over with. And 3, Tua Tagovailoa probably by the end of this year is going to retire. Because his contract's too big. No one's trading for him. There's no way they can get somebody.
It's going to be a fire sale.
Yeah, it's a fire sale. By the end of this, maybe Tua will play a season with somebody else, but I think he's going to retire. He's got his bread now. They gave him $180 million. Hey, you good for life, bro. You just go ahead. Your health should be the number 1 priority. Just go ahead and pack it in, man. Maybe go back home and coach or something. The NFL should be off the table for you. Mike McDaniel's going to be offensive coordinator. Tyreek Hill is probably going back to the Chiefs. That's what I think is going to happen by the time this year is over with. Before we run out of time, I got to go to the game for tonight as we get ready for the first Monday Night Football of the season. That is the Chicago Bears and the Minnesota Vikings. Wayne, we gave some preview to this on Friday. But as we look forward to this game now that's getting ready to start in just a couple of minutes, Chicago just a 1.5-point favorite, even though playing at home. Believe both of us last week picked Chicago to be able to win this game. I'm sticking with that in the Chicago Bears. I like Chicago to win this, mainly because they're at home, mainly because a game we didn't get to talk about, but we'll be talking about later in the week. What Ben Johnson meant to the Lions, I think, is going to be huge. We saw the Lions look like a completely different team yesterday against the Green Bay Packers. They weren't able to score anything. And now Ben Johnson with this offense, in the really, I guess, one quarter we got to see the starters play with the Bears in preseason, that offense was humming. They looked like they know what they were doing. It looked completely different from last year. They made a big emphasis on the offensive line in the offseason, bringing in Ben Johnson as a head coach now. I like the Bears moving forward. The Vikings, they're on a prove-it deal to me. I got to see it. I understand what Kevin O'Connell can do with offenses. We watched him do it with Sam Darnold. We watched him do it with Kirk Cousins. But J.J. McCarthy is a rookie. Because he didn't play last year. He's got to go out there and prove that he can make good plays against NFL defenses consistently.
He got to go play against live bullets.
Yeah. It's
he hasn't been playing against live bullets.
Yeah, since the national championship in Michigan.
So that's why I chose the Bears as well as you did. Mm-hmm. I just think that Chicago is trending up because of Ben Johnson. And man, just looking at a little of the comments that he said and a little of the interviews that he's talked about, perfection on everything, I think that's a good way to start it. I mean, when you have a coach that players, it's a lot of coaches that says things, but you don't listen.
Yeah.
And it's a lot of coaches that talk and you listen. Those are the guys that you'll go and run and knock down the door for.
Absolutely.
Them other ones, you just be, man, let's go on say what you're going to say so we can get on out here on the field and do our thing, man. You know, I'm going to make this money this year, and that's it. But he is one of those guys, man. He's a tickler, and he's very, very, very particular about what he does, what he says, and he's a perfectionist. And I like that in the coach because those coaches are the coaches that coach. They don't let you get away with anything. You jump outside, he's going to get on your butt about it, and he's going to tell you about it right there in your face. It's some of those guys that, like when you have superstars that do things, they kind of don't say nothing. They kind of let them get away with things and let them kind of make it. But what I've been hearing about Ben Johnson, he don't care who you are.
Yeah.
He's going to let you know about it, and he's going to tell you about it. And so I like that in the coach, and I think that translates to what they do on the field tonight, so I'm picking the Bears.
Yeah, I'm the same as you. I like everything that I've seen out of the offseason from Ben Johnson, the way that he commands the attention of his offense, the way that he pays attention to the small details, and that's how you get the type of offenses that he's been running. It reminds me of a Kyle Shanahan, people like that are real meticulous and very particular about the small things in the offense, and that is Ben Johnson. For that reason, I think Chicago is going to have a pretty good year. I have them somewhere around 9 to 10 wins this year. It's just that they're playing in the division they're playing in is so tough, but it starts with winning against division opponents like the Minnesota Vikings tonight. So I have them winning this one for tonight. And I'm interested to look at the Detroit Lions as we move forward because Ben Johnson, if he has a great start like I think he's going to in Chicago, we've seen Aaron Glenn get off to a great start at the New York Jets. What is this Detroit team going to look like moving forward without the two services of those guys? So that's going to be really fun to watch. That game getting ready to kick off in just a few minutes, folks. But we're out of time here today on Centex Primetime. We want to thank everybody for tuning in with us here on this Football Monday. We're going to be back tomorrow, talk some more football analysis. I'll break down some of the NFL games I didn't get a chance to touch here today. Don't forget about MCC Volleyball on Wednesday. They play Temple at 6 o'clock. You can tune in right here on Centex Sports Network. Friday, we got another great Friday of Friday Night Flex lined up for you as we enter week 3 of high school football in the Central Texas area. Wayne will be back with us. We'll have Rocky back in from Mexico this past weekend. He'll be back with us again on Friday. So make sure you guys are gearing up and tuning in for that. Thank you again for tuning in. Subscribe to the channel, Centex Sports Network / Centex Sports TV on YouTube. Hit that subscribe button. We'll be back tomorrow, same time, same place, right here for Centex Primetime. We will see you guys then. Everybody have a great evening.
Peace.